Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mind Your Business Show. I am your host, Milt Walker, joined today by none other than Tony Calloway, the Private Money Godfather. How are you today, sir?
Maestro, man. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. I'm just letting you know. I am coming to you live from Pompano Beach, Florida, just a little bit outside of Fort Lauderdale. Here hanging out with kinfolk and just having a wonderful time. The weather's beautiful. The people are beautiful. We've been enjoying a great time amongst ourselves. We show you a few pictures in a little bit and just enjoying some of the great food and the surroundings, man. And it's great to be able to do this show from another location. Most of the time, whenever somebody's on the road, bringing it to us, it's always the maestro. So I actually get a chance to be somewhere else. As you can see in the background here at the Wyndham Resort here at Pompano Beach. So,
Right, right.
man, thank you so much for pulling it all together. As you were
Hey,
saying, we're on yacht time this morning, so we
that's
want to
right.
apologize to y'all for us being a little bit late getting on the air. But we're gonna make it worth your while for waiting. So, they say, good things come to those who wait, and you got to get it, man. But how's everything been with you, my friend? I understand you've been having some family time and stuff.
Yeah. Everything's been going great. Been super excited and proud of my daughter for passing to the next grade. We had a nice little daddy-daughter outing last weekend. Had a blast. Did it up in Six Flags in over Georgia, yeah, in Atlanta. And it was great. It was a great time. I value those moments so much. Those are the things that mean the most to me. So,
Yeah,
it was definitely worth all the time and effort to put into that. And then I was actually just down in Florida myself. I just got back myself. Yeah, and then we have some other family gatherings coming up this weekend. So yeah, yeah. How about
man.
yourself?
Like I said, man, we're having a great time, and I got some pictures to share with you guys. Thank you for making us an important
Nice.
part of your Saturday, an important part of your life. I just want to share some of my special moments because ultimately, accumulating things, you leave it all behind, but memories,
Right.
you have those forever, man. So yeah,
Absolutely.
let's share a little bit with the folks. I appreciate you pulling it where we can show these pictures here.
Okay. Yeah. So right now we're looking at what looks like is that a yacht? Is that a yacht that we're looking
That is a yacht.
at?
Every year, and of course, last year was COVID, and we didn't get a chance to do it. And folks, we're gonna get to chess versus checkers, credit versus cash in just a minute. But this is all part of what it's about. Okay, so
Right.
please put it in context. It's the men of Sparks. My mother's maiden name was Sparks, so these folks you see are a combination of my brothers and cousins. They're down here in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, and so yes, we were out on a yacht enjoying some time yesterday. So there's a picture of it, and I'm going to flip through a few others just to kind of give you a little taste of what's going on and encourage you to put into place some of the things I'm talking about. What you got in front of you now, Maestro?
Okay. So it looks like we got the men of Sparks all together here.
All right. Yep. That's. I think that is the eight of us, if I remember. But and of course,
Yeah.
I can't point out who's who, but y'all don't care about that either. But we did a all white party. So and it was kind of cool because everybody was just like, man, who are these guys? So just enjoying that little notoriety and celebrity, being out on the water. I mean, that yacht was off the chain, man. It's the first time I'd
Right.
ever been
Yeah.
on a yacht. And I promise you, it won't be the last time though. I mean, it
Right.
had all
Right.
kinds of cool amenities. The staterooms were off the hook. I mean, just wow. I mean, and the food, the service, great staff. So I encourage anybody if you got money to put into that kind of experience. I mean, that kind of high quality experience, especially when you can share it with people you love and care for, and who
Absolutely.
love and care for you. Make those kind of investments because we're going to be talking about investing in real estate and business and stuff. But all of those are just the fruit that derive the juice and things like what we were sharing is the juice of life. And it's got to
Right.
be worth the
Right.
squeeze. Absolutely, this time it was.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Next one looks like we got some mimosas on the bar here. What's going on
Uh,
here? We got a little
man,
brunch going on.
they had some gangster mimosas. they, they had the food and everything. I mean, oh gosh, I mean, like I said, and just to be out on the water, it's something calming about the rocking of the waves, the breeze blowing.
Right.
Somebody bringing you drinks and stuff. I remember that scene from um, Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
he's got a yacht made for bond building. Sometimes you just got to play the part. Well, the Godfather. It was special, man. But yes, that's one of the staff. I
Good,
think
good.
that was Tina, who was there
Okay.
taking care of us at the bar.
Yeah, yeah. I see you got the Kango on, looking pretty dapper there, sir.
Yes, I was.
All right. All right, let's go to the next. Okay, so here it looks like, you just kind of kicked up, just kind of kicking back, relaxing. What's going on in
Yeah,
this one?
as they say, chilling like a villain.
Okay. Okay.
So everybody, just for to share a little moment of my life, special moment with my brothers and my cousins, and so we endeavor to do this every year. We missed it last year, but we're going to be the night planning where we're going to, where we're going to get together next year. So again, find opportunities to spend special times doing special things with the people who you love, and I promise you, those will be some of the best investments that you'll ever make.
And I
So thanks,
promised also that I'll be on the next one. Okay, I'll
Mike.
be on the next one.
It's amazing how many people want to become cousins and kin now and stuff. So man, I'd be glad to have
Right, right, right.
you.
We
Be
we
glad
did
to have
kind of find out we may be related somewhat down the line, so
you.
we need to verify that before then.
Uh,
See if
we
see
will
if
do
I'm
that.
see if I'm a man of sparks too.
Cool, brother.
All
All
right.
right, we're gonna get to the reason why, and I want to ask everybody, please like, follow, and share the Mind Your Business show. Now we're on YouTube,
That's right.
so we got some special things coming for you as part of some of the things we got coming up. I want to go ahead and put it out there. I just want you to remember 10,000 dreams. Okay, just remember 10,000 dreams, and you're gonna hear more about that. But go to YouTube and please subscribe to the Private Money Godfather channel on YouTube, because all of our videos are also there and it's searchable for any particular content. We're making it even more well defined, so you can find some great things, some great interviews we have with guests. But you don't want to miss out on this 10,000 dreams. What do you call these challenge campaigns?
Yeah, that's right.
Maestro?
The challenge, we're challenging people
Yeah.
to find their dreams and share it with us. Yeah,
So we're going to be hooking you up. But you got to be a subscriber, and you have to like, follow, and share. You have to be a subscriber on YouTube. You have to like, follow, and share us on
that's right.
Facebook, so and Instagram, and so be there in the right place, the right time, and I promise you, you will be rewarded. All right, now I want to kind of tell you what we're here to talk about today, and then we'll see who is here with us this morning, and we're going to do some acknowledgments and shout outs. But the topic today is like chess versus checkers,
Hmm.
credit or cash. All right, so I found when I was clearing out my parents' place, my old chessboard. I just realized, I don't know how many of y'all know how to play chess, but this is the king, this is the queen, two important pieces on the chessboard. And I discovered that somehow over the past 50 years, I'm missing two pieces. So I guess I can't play on the board. But y'all know that chess is
It's
played
got
on
to
a very
replace them.
different board.
It's got to replace
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of antique thing. They're magnetic and it's kind of a travel kit.
them.
But a
Mm-hmm.
chess and checkerboard, other than the fact they're different colors, are exactly the same in terms of the number of squares and everything. But you do know that chess is a very different game than checkers. Now, both have their tactics and strategies, all that's important, but you have to understand how to make the moves in chess. And I taught my little granddaughter, I'll say I'm teaching her how to play chess. And the first thing you have to do is understand the pieces, where they go, and how they move. Okay, the pieces, where they go, and how they move. And so when it comes to chess, there's more pieces that you have to understand where they go and how they move versus cash, which is like checkers. I mean, you just get the basic rules, all the, line them up. There's no special placement. And you got the basic moves and rules. But all I'm going to say is that chess is a bit more complicated. But if you master the game of chess, is a whole different evolution than being the master of the game of checkers. And if you can play chess, I promise you, you can play checkers. So today I want to talk to you about how to accomplish some awesome financial success, but you got to learn to play chess. And so we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But before we get to that, Maestro, who do we have with us here this
Hey.
morning that we can say thanks for showing up?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have Edward Winton joining us today. He says, "Good morning, everyone." We
Well,
got
good morning,
Nikki.
Nikki.
Yep. We got Nikki Johnson joining us saying good morning. What's up, Nikki?
Hey,
Uh,
let me say something to those two. Hey, look, I'm just on the other side of Florida. All y'all need to do is drive straight across to Pompano Beach. I don't know what it'll take you, but I promise you, if you show up, I'll make it worth the time. So I'll be here till tomorrow morning. Enjoy the list. Hey, you saw what we're doing.
right, right, right,
Hang out.
exactly.
Hey, but thank you for being here.
Satish, VM Satman is joining us again.
Oh,
He says, good morning, big dogs.
voice of peace.
Bobby Jean Ford is joining us. She says, good morning, everyone. Uh,
Mhm.
Ryan Calloway is joining us. Good morning, gents, from Fort Lauderdale, chilling with my cousins. So he's checking in from on the boat too, on the beach.
I think he's out by the pool right now.
Right, right, right. He catches some rays somewhere. He catches some rays somewhere.
Okay.
Uh, Athena Groom says, "God morning," um, and she says, "Good morning. We'll check out 10,000 Dreams and share it with others." So
See?
she's gonna,
Thank you.
she's gonna, yeah, she's gonna join us in that challenge, and so that's gonna be good. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, hey, thank you all for being here, and I'm sure we'll have other folks coming in. But all right, so let's talk about credit and cash, chess versus checkers. All
Yeah.
right, now,
And this is a really big topic, right now amongst, a lot of the internet, a lot of the online communities and platforms and a lot of people are really, really wanting to learn a lot more about credit and how to utilize it properly to help them in their financial situation. So this is a great topic, Tony. Yeah.
appreciate that. Well, let me start by all right, this is the queen. Now, the queen is, let me get it close enough so you can see it. Of course, it's a little bit of chess piece, but the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. And from the standpoint of the strategy of chess, unlike checkers, where you jumping and taking pieces off the board, in chess, you take pieces, but ultimately the king, if it's your king, you're protecting the king. And if you're playing your opponent, you're trying to put them in checkmate. In other words, the strategy is you don't actually take the king, but you get the king where he can't go anywhere. All right. So when I think about it, and this is my philosophy about some of these things, most of the time when people become concerned about their credit, it's principally when they're thinking about buying a big ticket item, be that a home or a car or, applying for credit cards, those kind of things. And that's the consumer mentality associated with credit. And I do assure you, if you get your credit score up to the 700s, 750s, 800s, and Lord knows if you get 850, there's nothing that would be denied you from the standpoint of if you have the what they call debt to income ratio and you got the good credit. But that's for the shopaholics. Here, I'm talking about what we're talking about this morning is understanding how to use credit to accumulate and amass wealth, right? Because nowadays, with interest rates being so low, credit is very inexpensive, it's very cheap. But from the standpoint, what I want to share with you this morning is how to accumulate cash, actually have credit is it gives you control of capital. It's not your money. Okay. When you're borrowing money, obviously it's not your money, but by borrowing that money, Maestro, you have control of it.
Right.
So from the standpoint, when you have control of other resources, the next thing, that's the piece. Now you have to understand where that piece goes, and then we have to understand how that piece moves. Are y'all following me? Okay. So if we understand accruing credit or accumulating access to capital through having good credit allows you to now accumulate different assets that can then be turned into cash. So the moves that you want to make with your credit pieces is you want to move those pieces so that the assets that you accumulate help you to accumulate real cash. I mean, dollars, dinero, money, okay, whatever you want to call it. All right.
Right.
That you can actually now use within the context of your lifestyle, as opposed to what most people do is they use their credit to go out there and buy things, which, okay, that's cool. But all right, so let's talk about this for a second. All right, let's talk about the premise in, what's keeping you from accumulating wealth. Now, Everybody says, I want to be a millionaire. Everybody says, I want to be wealthy. And I say wealthy, that's relative. How much money that is to you is different one person to the next. But as a financial goal of all the goals that you should have in your life, physical goals, family goals, spiritual goals, financial goals, it's a benchmark. Okay, but
Right.
most people feel imposed that they have impediments that challenge them to get there because their concept is the checkers. Okay, and I don't have any checkers here, but see, the board looks the same, just different colors, black and red versus white and black. But from the standpoint that it's not the same in this environment if you understand to use different pieces. Right. So the checkers is I'm accumulating money out of my income. Most people have a job, they're working, and there's that a portion that we've all heard save 10%. And not that I can see a show of hands for the number of people we got watching, but I ask show how many of y'all save 10% of your income? I bet it would be a small number because we got stuff we're paying for. But from the standpoint of if you're accumulating money, it's very linear. From standpoint, let's just suppose for a second that you could save and invest. Let's say it's a two-income household, and they could save between money they have coming out of their paychecks for 401ks and things like that, money they actually just put in emergency savings. Let's suppose they could put aside $1,000 a month. Okay, we're going to parallel this with the ability to actually use credit. But see, from the standpoint, what really creates wealth is not the credit, it's the business that you can start, it's the real estate that you can invest in, because the two primary paths to wealth in the history of America is to own a successful business. And successful doesn't mean it's got to be Microsoft or Amazon or anything. There are a lot of mom and pop millionaires, and to own and accumulate real estate assets, real property, rental income, and the value of the assets, the houses that you own. And all I'm saying is most people's idea of being able to do those things is based upon the premise: I want to save money out of my paycheck for a period of time, and then I'm going to go out here and start my business, or I'm going to start investing in real estate. And
Mm.
it takes more time. What I want to share with you is this whole thing when it comes to these moves. I'm calling them now. Now I can't maybe Milk, because you were a rapper, so I understand. I can't remember who made the song, but it was back in my late 20s. OPP. Okay,
Oh,
well, see
naughty
how
by
OPP.
nature. Yeah, naughty by
Not about
nature.
me.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, now down with OPP. I want to teach y'all how to get down with CPP. Those are credit power plays. Okay, CPP, OPP, other people's. You get it. All right. So from the standpoint that when you can control other people's resources, what it also allows you to do is control time. All right. So from the standpoint that what you need to do in controlling capital is time, is you can accumulate faster by controlling credit than you can cash. All right. So let's just say you want to accumulate $50,000, Maestro,
Hmm.
and you were saving $1,000 a month. It's going to take you 50 months
Right,
to get $50,000.
right,
Okay.
right.
This is just saying you're saving it. Right now, interest rates are near zero. So let's just say in the current moment, yeah, it's not going to get any massive return on investment. Now, put it in stocks, other things, you get some leverage growth, but let's just keep it simple. Right. Now, let's say that somebody's got jacked up, toe up from the floor credit. Okay. Come to the Private Money Syndicate, and we can help you to get your credit straight, hooking you up with our partners who do that. And let's say you invested $1,000 to do that. Within 4 months, you would have a credit score that could qualify you. And we've been doing it like clockwork, popcorn popping in the microwave, getting people 50,000, 75,000, $100,000 credit lines. Now they have control of 50, 60, 75,000. We've been at $120,000 approvals, but let's just do 50. All right, now, Maestro, 50 months is 48 is 4 years and two
Right.
months. Let's keep it simple. If you had to wait a period of time for you to have $50,000, would you rather wait 4 years or 4 months? 4 years or 4 months?
4 months, definitely.
Okay, there you go. You're thinking a little bit too long. All right, 4 months. All right. So
Right.
all I'm saying to folks is if you could get started on this path toward acquiring the assets that are going to help you to accumulate wealth, don't take the slow boat. Now we're on a yacht. Don't take the slow yacht. Take the fast yacht. Okay. Take the 4 months. And all I'm saying is we will work with you at the Private Money Syndicate to help you to get your credit position to where now you can control capital. And that has put you in control of time. And remember, time is always your greatest resource. And this is playing chess. because most people's thought of time is very linear checker moves. We're talking about credit power plays that is your money moves over here on this side. So, Maestro, before I go any further with this discussion, we got any questions, comments, or anybody else to acknowledge? Maybe you got a
No,
question.
no. We don't have anybody else chiming in just yet. We do have some people watching. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. Um, and I think it really also depends on what your goal. I think you said it when you said everybody's idea of wealth is different. Um, some people may want to wait those 4 years, but if you're talking about establishing credit and building your credit lines, especially like when you're trying to start a business, it's very important for you to do that as early as possible, because with that being in your hands, then you can use that instead of your income, however small, because we all know when you first start a business, it takes about 3 to 5 years before you become profitable in a business on average. So
Mm,
when we're talking about it in those in that frame of mind, then you see the value of being able to go to having $50,000 of credit in 4 months versus waiting 4 years, right? Because if you didn't, then you would be putting yourself in a very, not to say it can't be done, because there have been people who have done it, but to say that it's not as easy. It's not the easiest route. It's not the path of least resistance, if
that
you
is just
will. Yeah,
captive for that. Yeah,
right,
and and so from the standpoint that, as I was saying, it expedites and like Milt just said, the path of least resistance to give you control of the capital. Because actually, if you accumulated it, it's yours. You control it. Now, when you accumulate access to capital through credit, you have a responsibility. Obviously, if you take on any debt, that debt has to be serviced. However, you now control this asset that the whole intention is to make money with it.
right,
Now, my graduate studies, I remember in my last graduate course, the gentleman who was the professor was saying that the purpose of an enterprise, and I remember this like it was in, what they call it, branded on my brain. The purpose of an enterprise is to consume land, labor, raw material, and capital to produce a profit for the business.
right,
So just like you hire people, you have your inventory, you have your facility. Having capital is a cost of doing business, but from the standpoint to take that and make money, this is where you got to understand that the whole capitalistic structure is designed for you to be able to understand how to use other people's money as a foundational premise, which goes back to chess versus checkers. We always talk about what other folks do and how the other folks do it. All I'm saying is that we see examples everywhere of how people actually use, whether it's their cultural structure to pool money for others to draw from, to leverage for their business purposes, or we look at major corporations who are doing the same kinds of things. If you go and look at Microsoft's balance sheet, they're a public company, or you look at Amazon's balance sheet, you say they got billions of dollars in cash, but they also have billions of dollars of credit. So why would a company that's got all this cash want to have credit? It's because not only do they control time, but it increases return on investment, because you now control an asset, or you now control a product that you only paid out of your money none. It was bought with the interest that is being, your cost is the interest to borrow that money. So basically, it's almost like you're buying it for free, but then you sell it and you make a profit on it. Going back to the OPP thing, okay, it ain't yours, but you get the benefit from it. Some of y'all too young to know what I'm talking about, but anyway, Google the song and listen to it. So these credit power
not if you're
plays,
too young, though. Not if you're too
when I'm talking about these credit power plays, is understanding you don't have to have the money to go buy the inventory for your. So let's just say you're paying. I'll keep it simple. 12% interest. All right. So annual, and you bought something that cost you $100. Well, if you bought that item of inventory for 100, and you were paying 10% interest per year, so let's just say that's 1% per month. It's going to
right,
cost you. It's going to cost you $1 to buy something that costs $100, And let's say you sell it, most retail transactions are double what you call your wholesale cost. So you bought 100, sold it for two. Now you made $100 of profit that only cost you a buck. So you made $99. Now the other premise is if you bought something that you had to accumulate $100 for. But let me get back to the point. Now because of the leverage with that same $100 of control of cash, you can go buy, if it only costs you a dollar, you can go buy 100 of these items. So for the same $100 of cost that it would take you to buy one item cash to sell for two, you bought 100 of them, and so you made $999 versus somebody just making 100. That's leverage.
Right.
It's like with real estate. You can put a down payment with private money, typically 25 to 30% down. The control an asset is worth, say, $100,000. And I want to give you some examples of how you can accelerate that process. But if you don't have access to capital, if you're saving up that 100 or that 1,000 or that $50,000, what you're losing control of is time, because once that person gets control of the $50,000, they can go into the marketplace immediately. And that's that difference between 4 months versus 4 years. So all I'm saying to you, if you have that dream of being a real estate investor, if you have that dream of going into business for yourself, let the Private Money Syndicate work with you to get your credit right, because that is your key that unlocks the door to wealth. That is putting you in position to play chess instead of still holding on, waiting, stacking dollars, playing checkers. And because we've seen it historically, the evidence is clear that people who understand how to accumulate and have access to credit accumulate more wealth faster than those who do it the checkers way. Does that make sense, Maestro?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's actually one of my favorite sayings. I always say, I like to play chess, not checkers, because it's about strategy. So for me, that translates into strategy. Like if you, and it goes back to a lot of things that you've said, in numerous mind your business shows about planning. I mean, when you have a goal, it doesn't just stop there. It doesn't just stop at having the goal. You have to plan your way to it. You do trust and have faith that it would happen, but you do take the steps that you need to take to make it happen as well. So that's part of that strategy, and I think you illustrated that at the very beginning, saying that you got to know how the pieces move. I mean, you can't develop a strategy if you don't even know how they move. So
That's
that's where and that was one of the things that I did in one of my mentoring programs was I taught chess to young men and giving those philosophical thoughts to them, saying that's how you need to treat your life. You need to treat your life the same way, that not to say that somebody's out to get you, but to say that there are these circumstances that are put in place. They're not just gonna help you just automatically. You have to learn how to as you use the term, leverage them for your benefit, for opportunities, whatever the case may be, in whatever situation you may find yourself in. Because sometimes it may look like you on the ropes, but as Muhammad Ali showed us many
that's
times,
right. He's exactly well. You're doing exactly what I
you,
wanted
you
you to
you
do,
exactly where I want you. So you
and in
you
the end,
came
I was
close, So, and the tables
well.
turned, right? So it's one of those
Exactly.
things, But yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Well, let me make this one other point. Then we'll see if we have any questions or any other acknowledgments that we want to make. Let's talk about tax implications, because again, the system of capitalism, as the architecture of it operates in America. I can't speak for the rest of the world. Is you got to understand, because I've said this for years, because tax laws change as it relates to federal policy and all that other stuff. I say that the tax laws will tell you what they want you to do. Okay, now check this out. We're talking about stacking dollars, right? If
right.
you're going to save $1,000 between your state taxes and your federal taxes, you pretty much have to earn about, I'll say, $1,200 to $1,300. So
Hmm.
let's take that tax out. So let's just say you got about a $300 headwind for every $1,000 you want to save. So that means you have to work 30% harder or be 30% better, or whatever. That 30% is you're fighting that headwind, that drag against earned income.
Right.
Now you can go out here and borrow $50,000. All right, so Milt, check this out. You got $50,000 that you worked 4 years against that headwind to put in your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And I take any of y'all, okay, who go to privatemoneysyndicate.com/schedule or go to the website where Milt has literally 200 buttons on there for you to schedule consultation. And let me tell you how within the next 4 months, if you got good credit, bad credit, if you ask me what is credit, you can have $50,000 sitting in your bank account in 4 months. It's $50,000. And guess what? And there was no tax that you had to pay on that 50,000 to put yourself in control of that capital. It might not be in your bank account or you can put it in your bank account. It doesn't matter. But you have control. You look at the statement that says you have a line of credit for $50,000. It has the same power as Milt's $50,000 sitting in his bank account, but you had to pay no taxes. All right, so let's say you go out here and you invest in real estate. Well, real estate gives you tax benefits. The tax law said
Deductions.
we
Yeah.
want you to buy real estate. When you flip a property, okay, I learned this the hard way. I flipped property in 2008. I think I flipped yeah, 2008, and I think I collected about 40 some odd $1,000 in those transactions. No, it was about 60 combined, and I split it with my dad. Okay, that was a deal that we had in our partnership, and so it felt good. Money went bank account, but then come 2000, what did I say, 8, 9, when I had to file taxes. There's
Mm.
something called capital gains tax.
Right.
And then y'all had to
Mm-hmm.
pay capital gains tax. If you owned and sold an asset and it went up and you sold it for a profit, you had to pay capital gains tax.
Right.
And I think at that time the capital gains tax was short-term capital gains that I held an asset less than a year was like 35%. And I'm like, I won't say what I said because it's a family show.
Right.
Kind of like that didn't feel good. Have to write those checks,
Right.
30
Right.
something percent. So that's all right. So let's compare this. I take y'all listen to me. This is
Tell me.
important. This is yes, people. All right. So then the next properties I did a cash out refinance. It went up. I fixed it up, went up in value, and I stumbled upon this. I refinanced it, took out about 25% of the difference between what was owed, and this was just the first time I did. It was like a 20. This I think it was $26,000 that came out totally cash tax free. Now totally tax free. 26,000 oh no taxes because the government says this is not income. I just borrowed some more money, just like the first time. I have control. This is cash though. This is cash I put in my bank account. I don't owe anybody anything on that part. I have a tenant who's paying the mortgage because they're paying their rent, plus positive cash flow, but that was tax free. So if I took 40,000 and I had to give back Uncle Sam about a third of that, that's 12. So I'm down to $28,000, $2,000 difference because the tax law. So they're telling you we want you to borrow money in the tax law to control assets that produce cash. That's chess.
Yeah.
Flipping properties and paying capital gains taxes, brother, that's checkers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to pay the government anything. All I'm saying is the government is telling you how to get rich. Read the rule book. The IRS prints it every year and tells you exactly what they give you tax incentives to do if you create jobs. Business people, you create jobs, you get tax incentives. All of this whole thing is playing chess. And all I'm saying is but you got to understand how to play with other people's money. And that's those credit power plays that I'm talking about. Not that they're that complicated, but again, you just learn the moves and employ strategies. And there are incentives and motives for you to do so because that is how you accumulate wealth in America through business ownership and through real estate investment, accumulating assets that generate cash. The last thing I'll talk about on that very point is you invest in the real estate, you increase the value. And again, with our private money mortgages, we can loan you money to fix the property up. You can put 25 to 30% down and whatever it takes to pay for the rehab, loan you the money, other people's money. You increase the value, cash out, refi, put that in your bank account, pocket, whatever. Use it to clean up your personal balance sheet because these loans don't show up on your personal credit. So now you take other people's money to make money, pay off all them other bills you got, cars, credit cards, and stuff like that. Now you sparkling clean on your credit profile, and now you've got cash flow. So let's just take this analogy. I did math. Now I've talked about some people over a 10-year period. If somebody were to in 4 months get their credit profile straight to where we can start loaning them money versus your friend over here who's saving, playing checkers. It takes them 4 years to accumulate $50,000. At the end of every year, you bought two properties. So for the person who only waited, I'll take that and say it took you 6 months out of 10 years. So you had 9 years of two. That's 18 plus 19, that one. Well, the other person waited 4 whole years. So they only had 6 years down two. So only got 12 properties. And if each one of those you cash out $10,000 and you have $300, excuse me, $3,000 in your positive cash flow just to get to the bottom line, the person who took the 4 month route, who used the chess strategy of controlling credit, would have put $190,000 in their pocket and have $57,000 a year in positive cash flow from their properties, all things being equal. The checker player over here on the other side, they would only have accumulated and put in their pocket $120,000, which is $70,000 less, Maestro, and their annual cash flow from their rental portfolio would only be $24,000 a year. That's a $33,000 a year difference in annual income. Now, I don't know about you. I got, I got you. You got to learn how to play chess. Look at this piece. Get a close look. This is you. What was that old commercial? The egg they put. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Okay,
Right.
this this is your brain, and I want to teach you how to get your brain on understanding credit and playing chess so you can accumulate wealth for you and your family. I hope I'm making myself clear this morning. All right, Maestro, who we got out there that has any questions or any comments? I'm having too much fun this morning.
I know, right? Hey, you're supposed to. Hey, we're supposed to enjoy life. We're supposed to. Ebony's coming in. She says, "Good morning, everyone." Um,
Good
Bobby
morning.
Jean Ford says, "Now I am beginning to understand some of the things that I need to do." She says, "I'm going to buy a chess game." And Ebony says her as well. So definitely, yeah, I think it's
Speaking of,
probably becoming clear. The power of strategy and knowing that there are these strategies out here and people that can help you with them. To help your financial situation, whether it's you may not be in a bad financial situation. You may just want to improve it. And so that's a thing too. And or you just may want to, as you said, get into the real estate game. Um, and so definitely, want to make sure that people understand that there's a strategy for everything. So you definitely want to talk to some people who know about the strategies. And so yeah.
yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments?
No, no, that's it. That's it. Everybody
All right.
else just listening.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to kind of move toward conclusion by saying that, and I thank you, Maestro, for your commentary about strategy. As I said earlier, and I didn't make a big enough point about it, and I don't want to say this in the sense that it should scare anyone, but having control of other people's assets uh, inherently gives you responsibility. You have to
Right,
be responsible for those assets. For
right,
any of you who have been supervisors or managers in the business world, for any of you who have been in the military, where you had subordinates, you had responsibility because you were in control of assets. If you're a parent with children, you have responsibility.
right,
And I put this in the most positive sense that most of us are responsible people for those things that we've had models that have given us some guidance on how we should. And I'll go back to the family thing. I'm so blessed on both sides to have this awesome family. And it makes it easier for me to want to follow in that same vein. And everybody doesn't necessarily have that situation. And many people overcome the challenges, but those are probably in the minority. So when we talk about this thing, when it comes to, and the best thing I can use is the analogy that kind of goes from the family situation and talking about the financial situation is you don't take classes. I speak English as my primary language. I never took an English class to learn how to speak English. I learned how to speak like the folks spoke around me. Just so happens that Bobby Jean can attest to this. She was one of my classmates. My mother was an English teacher. I learned to speak proper because that's how she talked at home. And so when I went to school, people used to pick at me because of the way I talk, because I was talking proper. And I'm in the country, right?
Right,
But
right,
uh, but my point is, we learn from our environment is how we should conduct our affairs. So let's take this from, say, family language as a paradigm and come over here to finances. If no one in your environment has been in these realms to where you learn some of these strategies that I've been addressing this morning, then you don't you how would you learn it otherwise unless you take courses? And all I know is those things that become ingrained in you are so foundational that oftentimes to act upon new information is more challenging. I didn't wake up knowing this stuff. I always tell the story that I was very ignorant about finance, other than the fact I was always good at saving money. I remember my grandfather always had a big wad of cash that he kept in his sock. And I said, I want to be like Papa. And my old thing was, if I can't count it, I don't need it. And I think I told a story in an earlier episode about my mom took me to the credit union to get a loan because she said I need to build my credit. I'm like, for what? And then she said, give me $100. I said, for what? She said, because I'm your mom. and,
right.
and then I had the loan. I paid like 3 months extra one time, and then they called me because I didn't make the next month payment, saying, "Well, Miss Calloway, you need to send us a payment." I said, "For what?" They said, "Well, your payments due." I said, "I sent y'all 3 months worth of payments." And they said, "Well, you got to pay every month." I'm like, "Why? I ain't sending y'all jack. Hang up, you know." And then I went ahead and paid it off. But then 3 years later, I go to buy a house, and they got this ding on my credit report. I'm like, "How is that a bad?" I paid them, you know. I paid them early. I paid them more. But see, I didn't understand the game. I wasn't raised understanding how the game was played. I was raised to play checkers, ladies and gentlemen. I had to learn to play chess. And thank God I got around some people who I could model and who taught me, and I read and I studied. And I'm short. I'm what they call that, a hack. I'm giving y'all a hack. Okay. I'm telling you, I came from exactly where you may be right now. I came from not understanding credit at all, having bad credit, didn't know how I got bad credit. I know some of y'all, especially if you're in your 30s or something right now, when you go apply, you realize that the lights and the cable was in your name. But all I'm saying
No
is
bueno. No
I've also
bueno.
learned that all that can be fixed. And with these strategies, I have learned how to do everything I'm telling you. I'm not telling you anything out of a book that I have done. And all I'm saying is walk the walk, like, follow, and share. That's what I do every day. That's what we're doing, Maestro. I like it. I'm following this path and I'm sharing it with others because I feel that as a testament to what I enjoy doing is teaching is to see people succeeding in their life. I was glad when Satish was on last week and he gave me credit for being a mentor. I've been mentored. State Representative Calvin Smyre was the first person I heard say this. And it said, if you ever see a turtle sitting on top of a fence post, if y'all get what I'm saying, he didn't get there by himself. I didn't get here by myself. I thank God for everybody who sold into my life and helped me to understand these things that I'm sharing with
Absolutely.
you. And so I just encourage you, if you see you have children, grandchildren, friends who are peers around you, who just like learning to speak English or Spanish or whatever, they are learning just as you learn from the environment. If you influence that environment in a positive, powerful way, learning these credit power plays and how to take advantage of the strategy that America gives you, that path of least resistance. But see, if you don't understand that, you don't even see a path. You see all the problems of doing it the checkers way. I'm telling you that simply learn the strategies of playing chess and learn the moves. Like I said, learn the pieces, learn where they go, learn how they move, and employ strategies that are fundamentally laid out for you in all these real estate investment books, how to go into business books, and all that stuff. See, here's the thing: if you didn't speak the language in your mind of the language that the book was written in, it's Greek or Spanish or something else. But see, once you simply learn the pieces, where they go and how they move, now these books are guidance. They're formulas. And the thing about a formula is if you like 1 plus 1 equals 2 is a formula. Every time you replicate the formula, you get the same result. Like baking a cake, the recipe. Right? Jay-Z, one of my favorite artists, says the blueprint. You follow the blueprint, you're gonna get the same result. But you got to understand to read the blueprint. So what we've been talking about this morning is simplistic, but it's dynamic. And the main thing you got to understand is there's one simple act. All you need to go is privatemoneysyndicate.com and schedule a consultation. That's act one. If you're within the sound of my voice, if you're hearing this live, you hear it weeks, months, years from now, go to privatesyndicate.com, schedule a consultation, and just say, Godfather, I want to learn to play chess.
Private
I
Money
want to learn.
Syndicate. Make sure y'all put the Private Money
Yes.
Syndicate.com. Yep.
Private money. What did I say?
Syndicate.
Privatemoneysyndicate.com.
Syndicate.
Go to
All right.
privatemoneysyndicate.com and then hit schedule and schedule consultation. Say, I want to learn to play chess. I want to learn these credit power plays. I want to win with CPP. Okay. And that's exactly what we do. We have a great team, maestro. Now, if you need to get your technology right, that's the man. I'm telling you. Because if you're going to be in business or anything, you got the World Wide Web is indeed exactly that. People
Oh,
can understand what you do from everywhere.
and
Yes, sir.
also, we also because you mentioned your program, Flip Money Not Houses, where you teach people. We do the same with technology. We teach you digital skills that could help get you paid. Teach you entrepreneurship skills that could lead you into owning your own tech business. Or partnering with the private money syndicate, right?
That's right.
On some other things. And so, but one of my favorite sayings, Tony, before I let you close this out, is it's a proverb, and it says, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So you take that first step, like he said,
Right.
you go there, you sign up for the consultation, you start educating yourself, learning more about it until you get to the point where you take your next step, right? And eventually, the journey,
It's well underway.
it will be complete, or it will you will definitely get to where you're trying to go. But then you will find out that the journey is never complete. But that's a higher philosophical topic there. But
Well, still with brass.
right.
Let me ask before we close out: are there any other folks who need the knowledge or any questions?
No, Bobby Jean Ford just she when you said that she could attest to that, she said yes, and she said she got to learn. She said, okay, I want to learn to play chess. So I think you
Thanks,
got a
Dr.
student.
G.
You got a student. You got one student
Will
right
there
there.
be one? Will there be one? Thanks, Dr. G.
Right,
Appreciate
right.
that.
So
Hey,
yes,
well,
definitely.
all right. Well, I want to wrap up with a quick summary. Like I said, we you get the whole system is designed. See, we call it rigged because we don't understand how it works. Let's be honest. We say it rigged because we don't know, but it's designed to play chess. It's designed for you to understand the pieces, where
Mm,
to play, where to put them, and how to play them, how to move them, and then employ these strategies of which there are blueprints, formulas, all the stuff accumulate in wealth in America. And we want to help you to play the chess game by understanding the responsible way to manage credit, to start a business, and to invest in real estate. That's what we do. So go to privatemoneysyndicate.com and schedule a consultation, and we'll help you to learn to play chess, not
not
checkers.
checkers. Hmm.
And we need you to get online with us or on board with us, whatever the right word is. We have this 10,000 Dreams Challenge that's coming up. It's going to be awesome. I'm promising you that. So just remember, we need you to be like, following, and sharing on Facebook, and we need you to go to YouTube to the Private Money Godfather channel and subscribe. Okay, we got to get those subscribers up. That it's going to be something that's going to just blow your mind. And so I appreciate you. I got a yacht to catch. So anyway, I got to get out of here and go join my kinfolk. We're having an awesome time. And I'm holding this chess piece up. This is the queen, but hey, you do what I'm telling you. We're gonna make you the king. And these are the two most powerful pieces on the chessboard. So hey, we want to work with you guys. And Milt, Maestro, appreciate you getting us on the air today. This has been awesome, man. I'm glad to be out and about like you be doing all the time. And so we're going to do more of these things. But folks, as I always say, if you're going to go in business and be in business, you got to mind your business And with that, I'm gonna let the maestro take us on.
All right. And we appreciate your time. We appreciate you all for your support. And thank you again so much. And make sure you go to privatemoneysyndicate.com, schedule a consultation, ask for anything that you might need. And we'll definitely try to help you with that. And on that note, we'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care. We're casting off. Peace.